Hi, my name is Amrita, and today I'm going to take you through the most important piece that will help you enable a lot of improvement in your college. I'm talking about feedbacks. There is no failure, there is only feedback. And it's very important for an education institution and even as an individual to go ahead and seek feedback. And it is important for us to know whether it's positive or negative. As the management, as coordinators, as principals, as faculty members, you do your best to ensure that you're giving the best to your students and to the college that you work for. However, is it actually the best? Do you really know if it's working or not? I think it's important for you to figure that out. And it's extremely important for you to understand at the ground level what is happening at the college. We seek feedback to analyze and access information that we believe inherently that things are working fine. But it's important from the feedback that you know whether things are actually working. So you need to collect both positive as well as negative feedback and analyze and look at the positives and work on the positives, of course. And based on the negative feedbacks that are coming in, you can actually see what can be improvised, how can you take corrective action, whether it is related to the infrastructure of your college, whether it is related to the faculty members, whether it is related to any other information that you get. In order to do that, as a faculty, you will have to actually go through 4 different forms of feedback. There is self, peer feedback, student feedback, and the principal feedback. This is actually called as a 360-degree feedback. And with the 360-degree feedback, you will be able to analyze and understand what has worked, what has not worked, what are the areas of improvement that you need to do. I'd like to tell you a very simple example, one example that actually had an impact on one of the colleges. So they did the whole 360-degree feedback for a particular faculty. Not naming the faculty yet. Amazing professor, right? He teach great, extremely knowledgeable. And if you look at the feedback system, the 360-degree feedback, he literally had, like, say, an 8 on 10 on the self feedback, 9 on 10 by the principal feedback, and again close to about 8.5, 9 from the peer feedback. Fantastic score. The principal and the faculty, everyone assumed that, oh wow, this is a great faculty. But when we looked at the student feedback, I guess the score was around 4 out of 10. So that's pretty shocking, right? It's very different from what the other people said about the professor when compared to the student feedback. So it literally opened the eyes of the management as well as the faculty to actually understand what was going wrong. It also enables you to sort of self-learn and introspect as to what we think is going right might not actually be going right, and then post certain counseling with the student body and also talking to the students, it was all corrected. And I guess within a matter of 3 months, the feedback from the students as well increased to 7 or 8. So that's what 360-degree feedback does to you. And it's not for the heck of it. I think if you utilize it really well, it actually helps your institution do better. And I'm sure you will. You're one of the good institutions that would make use of the 360-degree feedback and the feature of our software. Apart from this, we enable you to actually collect this information through our software at a click of a button. Through the app, students can give the feedback very easily, and you can analyze lots of information that is coming from thousands of students and put it into the system and take corrective action. So let us go ahead and help you understand what this feedback is, followed by the presentation and the actual demo of the software that explains you how exactly you can use the 360-degree feedback. Apart from the 360-degree feedback, we also have other feedbacks, which is basically self, on the general curriculum, library, as well as the entire institutional feedback. So let's go ahead and look at what's coming ahead. You can check the presentations and the demo of the feedback section of our software, which is coming in the next section. Thank you.
360-degree feedback. Now, under 360-degree feedback, we are going to be seeing all the types of feedbacks that you as a faculty will be filling in, and the kind of feedback the feedback questions that you will be coming across. Overview will ideally contain what 360-degree feedback is, why a feedback is necessary, and type of other feedbacks. So 360-degree feedback, as it says in the PPT, feedback is used to provide feedback about a group of people, about the institution, and about yourself. So under types of 360-degree feedback, as you can see, it says self. Self is about yourself. You give feedback about yourself, how you are performing, how you are teaching, are the students able to cope up with you. These are the kind of feedbacks that you will see in self. There are other couple of questions also that you will come across. These are just some questions. Peer, about your peers, about the faculties with you, your colleagues. Their feedback is what you will be giving under peer. Students, how they are coping up with your curriculum, with your program, if they are able to get along, if they are able to understand, if they're satisfied with the curriculum. These come under student. And principal is feedback about the principal of the university or college. Next one, why we provide feedback. As you can see, it says to assess the quality of the institution. First thing, the main reason why we give feedback, or feedback is very, very essential, is to understand if the institution has met the needs of the faculties and the students, if the quality of education is good, and if not, what is it that is lagging and what can be improved. The second says to analyze and understand the quality of faculties in terms of teaching, getting along with peers and students. Now, each faculty has their own type of teaching and style of teaching. Some of them may be good to students, some of them may be too strict to students. All of this comes under the quality of faculties. Each and every characteristic of the faculty matters, and this is very, very important under feedback. Getting along with peers, how you as a faculty get along with your colleagues. Are you helpful to them? Are you pleasing? Are you approachable? The same thing is with students also. Are you approachable enough? Do you provide the right kind of support to the students in terms of subjects or in personal front also? Because as students, many of them will face a lot of issues, both personally and in subjects, in academics. That support is what they require. That they require counseling from faculties. Are you giving that? This is what they need under quality of faculties. The third thing is to understand if the faculties and resources provided by the institution are satisfactory. So here, ideally, resources meaning labs, if equipments are good, classroom facilities, ICT, these kind of facilities and resources is what they mean. The last one is to analyze where there is a lag and where improvisation and enhancement is required to make the teaching and the listening experience better. Where there is a lag, where do you feel that there is something lagging behind, there's something missing? That is what is meant by lag. And where do you require improvisation in terms of teaching, in terms of facilities, in terms of understanding, in terms of use of resources? This is where rather improvisation is required. Enhancement can be in terms of knowledge. You use LMS or e-learning options to give students more knowledge, which also means more exposure, which also means students will be able to think outside the box. This is what is meant by enhancement, thus making the teaching, you as a teacher, and listening, students will have a better experience. Types of other feedbacks. So the other kind of feedbacks that you will be ideally filling in are first thing, self feedback. So self is, as I had mentioned earlier, individual feedback, and the self feedback will have, so each one of these other feedbacks will have MCQ format questions, which we will show in the next slide. in the video, you will be able to see how to go about the process. So first thing is individual feedback. Second thing is general curriculum feedback. So curriculum will be about your knowledge in the syllabus or the curriculum or the subject, and how you take classes, and is it satisfactory enough. Library is about the library facility available in your college and how satisfactory it is. Is it adequate enough for knowledge and improvement? Institutional is about the college or the university, your workplace, and the facilities available, quality of the resources. For example, if you are making use of chemistry lab or physics lab, are there enough resources, and how good are the equipments in the lab? That is one of the main important things. That is what is meant by resources. And about the infrastructure, are you satisfied with the infrastructure of the college or the university? What can be done to improve the infrastructure? What is lagging? This is what comes under infrastructure. Like this, you will find a couple more questions within each MCQ, within each heading, all of them in MCQ format. Kindly fill in the same. We will be showing you in the next video as to where you will find this feedback and how to fill in each feedback. Thank you. So in the dashboard, you will find the third option called feedback. Click on curriculum, library and infrastructure, the first option. You click on that. It will take you to the feedback page where you as a faculty will have to provide feedback about other faculties either in your department or in a different department. So here you select faculty. Now if there are more than 5 or 7 faculties in your department, remember you will be able to give feedback to only minimum 2 people. 2 faculties is the only minimum number that you will be able to give feedback to. If you have only 1 faculty in your department, then you will give feedback about that faculty, and the other faculty will be from a different department. Say supposing you are from science, the other faculty you know is from commerce, you will give feedback about that faculty from commerce department. The next thing you will have to do is go to other feedback. Under other feedback is self feedback. So I'm clicking on self feedback. It's taking me to a different page where the questions are available. Now the first question says knowledge base of the teacher. You see a bunch of 4 answers, or rather 4 options that are in MCQ format. So all the questions that follow will all be in MCQ format. Supposing I click on good and I click on continue, the next question will come, and like this there will be a couple of questions for you to answer. The end, you will click on finish. Next I'm clicking on general curriculum feedback. Under general curriculum, the question says the learning objectives are clear and appropriate to the needs of the students. Do you agree, disagree, or no opinion? Same. MCQ format. Click on continue. Go ahead with the rest of the questions until you complete. Click on finish. Make sure you've answered all the questions. The same thing goes for library and institutional feedback. So library feedback is about the facilities available in the library and how you make use of it. And institutional feedback is about the institution, the facilities and the resources available in the institution. So basically, first off, feedback about faculties you will have to give. Remember, again, only 2 faculties you will be able to provide feedback about. Next thing is other feedback. Under other feedback, you will give feedback about self, about the curriculum, library and institution, and you will finish feedback portion.